Yeah, alhamdulillah. So Ustaz will be live streaming with us all the way remotely from New York, inshallah. Again, without further ado, we're already 5 minutes into the segment. We have about an hour and a half, depending on how things flow. So we'll leave a 1 hour window for the guest lecturer today, so that way he may use up to an hour, he may be less. So if we have questions, feel free to bring your questions or contributions at 817-717-5685. If we have questions or contribution, the number to call is 817-717-5685. But you can only do this at the end of the lecture, so we'll not take calls at this time, but we'll do that right after the lecture. So if you just want to listen on the go, there's a number you can actually call on your cell. It's 712-775-9167. 712-775-9167 is the number you can call on the go. We also have our app on all smart devices, so go to Google Play or the App Store to download Distinct Radio or Radio Al Muslimat. So both radio are on the smartphone app. So please download it. And if you want to listen to us, if you want to view us live, we're also live streaming right now on Facebook. So go to our Facebook page at Distinct Radio, or you can simply go to YouTube. So we're also live multicasting or simulcasting right now, and you can also get us on YouTube. So go to Distinct TV, DISTINCTV. So at the end of Distinct, just add a V at the end, and you'll be on to the stream. I want to greet my Ustaz, and I want to formally welcome him on this segment once again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, brother, for having me
Mashallah.
this segment today.
Alhamdulillah. All right, so we're already 7 minutes into our time, so I know time is not our friend, so we want to utilize the time as much as we can. I'm going to put my microphone on mute, so that way you can take on the airwaves. Bismillah.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلله فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I thank Allah Azza wa Jalla on behalf of every one of us for making this an opportunity for us, not just for the month of Barakah, but to have spared our lives in many different ways and giving us of His blessings in many ways, and we cannot count. Like Allah said, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. Regardless of our shortcomings here and there. When we look into the issue of the topic we have today, it is a surah that would bring tears to anyone that reflects deep into it. The tafsir and the meaning, the explanation of Surah Al-Ankabut goes beyond most levels, like the way we see it, like every other surah. I look at it personally as a surah of da'wah and tawheed. Why is it so? When we look from the beginning of Surah Ankabut to the end, it is not but da'wah in various stages and in various forms. Let's look at one ayah first. The ayah in Surah Al-Ankabut, ayah, that's verse 41, ayah 41. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم مثل الذين اتخذوا من دون الله أولياء مثل الذين اتخذوا من دون الله أولياء. That's one section. كمثل عنكبوت اتخذت بيتا. Number 2. Number 3. وإن أوهن البيوت لبيت العنكبوت. That's the third part. Fourth part of it, لو كانوا يعلمون. There are 4 different phrases, the way I personally interpret it. This is Allah Azza wa Jalla. And these are his creatures, be it angels, jinns, ants, hayawanat, that's animals, trees, whatever you can think about. Allah is on one side and the makhluqat are on the other side. But we see this kufr mostly within the ins and jinn, whom Allah has said in the Quran, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْإِنسَ وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. No other reasons. Allah created these 2 creatures just to worship him alone. But they bring in ifk and kufr. So Allah is telling us, without mincing words, that in مثل الذين اتخذوا من دون الله أولياء كمثل العنكبوت اتخذت بيتا وإن أوهن البيوت لبيت العنكبوت لو كانوا يعلمون. That the similitude of those, be it humans, be it jinn, who have chosen within themselves, made up their minds to acquire awliya, helpers, sustenance, whatever one would interpret awliya, guidance or leaders, except Allah. That is shirk, associating anyone with Allah. The similitude of those who associate other things with Allah, كمثل العنكبوت, is just like someone or some, or like is just like an ankabut, a spider that has created a house for himself, for itself. The similitude of mushrikeen is just like a spider that has thought it has created a building, a house, a formidable house for itself. وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ لَبَيْتُ الْأَنْكَبُوتِ. But the most feeble of all houses, the most feeble, ordinary wind will blow it out of the way. The most feeble of all houses under the sun is verily the house of a spider. If they had known who, if the mushrikun and the kuffar had known. What is this ayah telling us? That if one makes the mistake of associating anything for Allah, that person is doomed. Not only doomed, they are doomed in this world and in hereafter. There are no 2 ways about it. That begins our tafsir for today, to give us a reflection of where we are heading towards the issue of Tawheed we talked about, and da'wah. When we look towards our topic today, which is the verse between verse 16 of Surah Al-Ankabut and verse 30 of it. Let us look at that. We see here it is a narration that comes with story, benevolent, sweet, heartwarming story. The story of Khalilullah, Allah's own friend. Abul Anbiya, Jaddul Anbiya, and the Judud of Anbiya, father of two prophets and messengers, grandfather of messengers, great grandfather of Rusul, prophets and messengers, Ibrahim alayhi salam. His two sons, Ismail and his younger brother Ishaq, were prophets. From the lineage of Ismail, we got the last of them all, Khairul Anbiya, Imam al-Khair, wa Qa'idul Khair, wa Nabiy al-Rahmah, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. On the other side of Sayyidina Ishaq, we got Sayyidina Yaqub. From him directly, we got Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam. From his descendants, we have people like Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, Sayyidina Dawood alayhi salam, Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam, Sayyidina Harun alayhi salam. How many of them, who do we count and who do we leave behind? Who do we leave aside? Khalilullah, Ibrahim alayhi salam. So now, this issue of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam was not mentioned just in Surah Al-Ankabut alone. Ibrahim alayhi salam is all over Quran. Surah Al-Baqarah, we have him. Where in Surah Al-Anbiya we have, in Surah Al-Hajj we have, how many of them? Surah Ibrahim is there. But the story goes straight to the same thing. Ibrahim alayhi salam, alayhi salam, alayhi salam was a Rasul Nabi of Tawheed. And he did it physically, practically, and spiritually to the highest levels of all anyone can mention. Allah said in Surah Al-Ankabut, وَإِبْرَاهِيمَ إِذْ قَالَ لِقَوْمِهِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاتَّقُوهُ. That is Tawheed. When Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam said to his people, worship Allah and fear Him. Worship Allah and fear Him. The people of Ibrahim alayhi salam, including his own biological father, worshipped idols, Asnam, and his father was one of the men that carved the Asnam for them. And Ibrahim alayhi salam tried to guide them to the right path. When Allah showed him the malakutu samawat wal ard, Ibrahim alayhi salam went into meditation and there was confusion. When he saw the stars, he mistook the stars for his Lord. And when they faded, Ibrahim alayhi salam denied them wholeheartedly. He saw the moon. and he mistook the moon for Allah. And when the moon faded, he called out upon Allah and said, if Allah did not guide me, I will be among the lost ones. And when he saw the sun blazing, he said, this is my Lord and this is the biggest. But when the sun set, Ibrahim alayhi salam called on Allah. He invoked Allah. And what did he say? Inni wajjahtu wajhiya lilladhi fatara as-samawati wal ard wa ma ana min al-mushrikeen. Inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alamin. La sharika lah. Everything about my life, my prayers, my sacrifice, my devotion, everything is towards Allah alone without any association. He gave his heart to Allah. He gave his soul to Allah. He gave all his devotions to Allah. So now, when we talk about the issue of like calling his people to da'wah, it did not say just worship Allah alone and move on. He said, fear him. Now, when we look into this issue of fearing Allah, wattaqūh, it is ikhlas, ikhlisu lahu fit taqwa wa talab wa rizq. Give everything to him. Be devoted to him. Hand everything to him. When you are devoting yourself in your worship, let it be focused towards Allah. When you ask, let it be Allah you ask. When you do anything, you have to make it, channel it in the way that it will be of obedience to Allah. That draws me to the middle of Surah Al-Fatiha, ayah number 4. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. That is Tawheed. You alone will worship, and you alone will invoke, will seek when we are in need of anything. Is it security? Is it food? Is it provision? Anything? We channel it to you, oh Allah. Not just in this world and in hereafter. Because after this world is not out hereafter directly, it is stages from grave to barzakh before we get there. Then the sirat will be there. ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. That is the best. That would be the best thing, the best choice you will ever make, you would have ever done in life, is to worship Allah, believe in him, put your devotion in him, and have everything in your life channeled to Allah Azza wa Jalla. And what did he say to his people? This is still Ibrahim alayhi salam talking. إنما تعبدون من دون الله أوثانا. Awthan. What you guys are worshiping in this world, what you associate to Allah, is nothing but awthan, idols. Idols that you carved out from what Allah created. Is it wood? Wood is from tree. Allah created tree. Is it rock? It is carved out from rocks, from mountains. Allah created it. Is it iron? Allah made it. Is it animal? Allah created that animal. So you are worshiping a person you are of the same rank with. And by the time you take it out of something, you are equal to the whole sum. Because if you cut a stone from a mountain, bottom of the mountain, you, a human being, is equal to the mountain. And what you have cut out of it is just like a part of a limb of your own body, your nails that you cut off. The mountain is your equal in the creation because Allah created you and created mountain. Cutting off anything part of the mountain is more like cutting your nails, is part of your whole being, and you worship it. إنما تعبدون من دون الله أوثانا وتخلقون إفقا. You are not just worshiping idols. You are not just worshiping idols. What you are doing is invocation. You are just like creating falsehood. It is falsehood. You create falsehood and you make it look like good thing. You make it look like it is truth. It is an abomination. إن الذين تعبدون من دون الله لا يملكون لكم رزقا. The people you worship, the things you worship, the animals you worship, anything you worship aside from Allah, all the things you associate with Allah, لا يملكون لكم رزقا. They do not have anything of your provision. None of your provisions lies in their hands. None of your provisions ever. They can't get your fears away. They can't provide for your sustenance. They can't actually heal you when you are sick. They cannot prolong your life. Nothing of your need lies in their hands. They can't solve any problem for you. فَابْتَغُوا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ رِزْقًا. فَابْتَغُوا, seek. Isti'an. That same word that came in the fourth ayah of Surah Al-Fatiha. Ibtigha means to seek something. So seek your provision from Allah. فَابْتَغُوا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ رِزْقًا وَاعْبُدُوهُ. He repeats it. And worship him. Washkuru lahu, and be grateful to Allah. Seek your sustenance from Allah. Be grateful to him. And worship him. Seek your sustenance, worship Allah, and be grateful to Allah. Ilayhi turja'un. Your life does not end here, because some people think, oh, when they die, they reincarnate and come back. That's false. Some believe that when they die, that is all about it. In here, illa mautatan al-ula, hayatun al-ula, mautatan al-ula. It is not but our single life. Man die, man go. It is not. That's false. That is false. There is nothing like man die, man go. It is not. No, there is nothing like that. Nothing like man die, man go. No. Man die and Jannah or Azab waits for him. This world is just a beginning. It's the beginning of the journey of almost 1,000 miles. This is the first step. So Ibrahim alayhi salam is doing this da'wah with his people, and he actually tried to convince them. And what did he say? وَإِن تُكَذِّبُوا فَقَدْ كَذَّبَ الْأُمَمٌ مِّن قَبْلِكُمْ. And if at all you deny it, if you are out to deny it, فَقَدْ كَذَّبَ أُمَمٌ مِّن قَبْلِكُمْ. You are not the first to do so. If you are out there to deny it, you are not the first to do so. Many have gone. Many have gone. We need to bear in mind that the people of Sayyidina Noah came before. The people of Ad and Samud came before. And their story were not far-fetched. And this happened, and the information was out there. It was known. So, وَإِن تُكَذِّبُوا if at all you deny it, which is apparent, فَقَدْ كَذَّبَ أُمَمٌ, plural of ummah, generations have done the same thing you are doing today. So it's not a new thing. وَمَا عَلَى الرَّسُولِ إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ. Made it very clear to them. I am not but a messenger. I am a messenger. So if you are denying it, deny it. All I have to do is to carry out my duty. And what is my duty as a messenger? To pass the message. And that is all. My message, my own, is to pass the message on to you. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا كَيْفَ يَبْدَأُ اللَّهُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُ. Now, these Mufassirin are saying that this is just an explanation. This ayah is an explanation, not the words of Ibrahim alayhi salam. It's a question. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا كَيْفَ يَبْدَأُ اللَّهُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُ. Can they see within themselves how Allah initiates creation and repeats it over? The easiest one of them is the birth of a human being. It's like a cycle. We see it happen. The woman gets pregnant, the child is born, and the child becomes a toddler, from infant to toddler, from toddler to teen, from teen to old adult, from adults old, from old death, and some die before they become old, some die in the womb, and so on. It repeats itself. It's like a circle. Then let us look at the farmer and his activities. A seed is planted in the ground, it germinates, it grows, the flowers come, it produces fruit and becomes food, and it goes back the same cycle year round. Within the ones we can see, إِنَّ ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ يَسِيرٌ. It is the easiest thing to Allah. It's easy. In the first place, we know and believe that Allah's decision, whenever He wants anything to be, is kun fayakun. This we are going to go through when we look back and look into the word where He said, إِنَّمَا تَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ أَوْثَانًا وَتَخْلُقُونَ الْإِفْكَ. Inventing falsehood comes from a clear mind, because it needs one to be articulating to be able to convince people on something. And we see it happen on daily basis. Persuasive argument When we try to convince people on things that are not true, one has to be articulating. So how do they get to that? They cannot get to it without the invention of if falsehood, make black look white. He made this very, very clear to them, and he said, uh, in the next ayah, where he said, Allah said, Alam yaraw kayfa yabda'u Allahu khalq. The next ayah, which is ayah 20, Allah said, Qul siru fil ard fanzuru kayfa bada al khalq. Move around, walk around, travel far and near. Travel far and near and see for yourself. Sanurihim min ayatina fil afaq. We will show them our signs. Siru fil ard. We will show them our signs. Far away and near. Far away and near. Wafi anfusihim. And even within themselves. And Allah asked a question in Surah Al-Tur. In Surah Al-Tur, in Surah Al-Tur, Allah asked that same question, made that statement in verse 36. In verse 36 of Surah Al-Tur. And here I'm trying to reflect. We have in Surah Al-Tur verse 35 and 36 because of time. In Surah Al-Rum also verse 27. In Surah Al-Fussilat verse 53. So here now, when we are looking into all these things and the Tawheed Da'wah Ibrahim had for his people, is he just reflecting on one particular thing that is known, which is word of the mouth, or is he going practical? ثم الله ينشئ النشأة ثم الله ينشئ النشأة الآخرة. This is the first nasha'ah. Nasha'at al-akhirah refers to the day of judgment, Yawm al-Qiyamah, as Ibn Kathir explained it in his tafsir. Ibn Kathir explained that Nasha'at al-akhirah is the day of judgment, yes, Yawm al-Qiyamah. Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. So what happens in that Nasha'at al-akhirah? Like I said earlier, this is the first phase. Then comes maut, death. Then qabr, barzakh, sirat. وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ فَجَمَعْنَاكُمْ جَمْعًا. When the trumpet sounds, we gather with people again. That is the Nasha'at al-Akhirah, like Ibn Kathir explained it. So this is what Ibrahim alayhi salam was actually trying to save his people from. He took da'wah to them. يُعَذِّبُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَرْحَمُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Um, La ilaha illallah. Allah is Rahman, He's Tawwab, He's Afu, He's Kareem, most merciful, most forgiving, most enduring, most lenient. But still, Allah is Muttaqim. He is an avenger. He made it clear in many different verses that Inna Azabi la Shadid. And in some areas, he said, "When taqamna minhum," and we take vengeance, we avenged them. How dreadful is that azab? We need to realize that Allah said that He is what? Fa'alun lima yurid. He does whatever He feels like. La yus'al amma yaf'al wa hum yus'alun. No one, nobody, nothing questions Allah Azza wa Jalla in any of His activities. Wa hum yus'alun. And every other person will be questions, including the angels. So yu'azzibu man yasha wa yarham man yasha. In the tafsir of Ibn Kathir, there was certain things he mentioned, which I think I have a good note about it, where Ibn Kathir said he is a ruler, al-mutasarrif. He is a ruler, al-mutasarrif, alladhi yaf'al ma yasha wa yahkumu ma yurid. He does whatever he likes and he judges the way he likes, and his judgment is perfect. لا يعقب لا يعقب لحكمه. Nobody can overrule his judgment. This has to do with the adab of a thing. يُعَذِّبُ مَنْ يَشَاء, verse 21. يُعَذِّبُ مَنْ يَشَاء وَيَرْحَمُ مَنْ يَشَاء وَإِلَيْهِ تُقْلَبُونَ, and unto him you shall return. So it is not just Mutatan al-Ula. It is not just the death of this world. No. There will be resurrection. So he punishes whomever he wishes, and bestows his mercy, his rahmah, on whomever he feels like. That is where the forgiveness comes. When people go through ma'asi, Allah will bestow his rahmah on them and give them forgiveness. For those who have done ihsan, Allah said, لِلَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا الْحُسْنَى وَزِيَادَةً. For those who did good, there will be folds. They will be rewarded in folds. But for those who transgress, Allah has his ways of judging his creatures, and his rahmah comes. And his rahmah encompasses everything. He is most forgiving, except for one thing. He said, Inna Allah la yaghfir an yushraka bihi wa yaghfir ma duna zalika liman yasha. Allah does not accept just one thing, nothing else except one thing. It's a no-go area. That is the red line. Shirk, associating him with anything. Anyone who does that is doomed. Is doomed. What awaits the Pharaoh of Egypt awaits him, in a nutshell, to say the least. Because Allah said, Illa man taba wa ahsan, except one who traces their footsteps back, seeks for forgiveness, repents, and drops shirk. If not, there are no two ways about it. وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ. Apart from that, Allah forgives whatever He feels like forgiven. That is where that rahmah comes. وَيَرْحَمْ مَنْ يَشَاءُ, and He has mercy on whoever he feels like. But once shirk is included, no, there is no rahmah for shirk. وَإِلَيْهِ تُقْلَبُونَ, and unto Him you shall return. يَوْمَ يُنْفَخْ فِي الصُّورِ, the day the trumpet will sound. وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُعْجِزِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فِي السَّمَاءِ. He punishes whomever he wants and has mercy on whomever he feels like, and nothing. There is no stumbling block before Allah. There are no obstacles at all. It is always an expressway. Well-paved expressway. وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُعْجِزِينَ. No, you are in, like we say in Nigeria, they never born the person. To be the stumbling block before Allah, no, they never born the person. That person, that creature is yet to exist. وَمَا لَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ مِن وَلِيٍّ وَلَا نَصِيرٍ. Not just that there are no obstacles. You don't even have it. Apart from Allah, except Allah, you do not have any helper nor a sustainer. It is a dead end. It is a dead end. Okay, let's trace back this issue of shirk. Shirk, when we talk of shirk, there are two creatures of Allah that are involved. Who are these creatures of Allah? Ins and jinn, whom Allah created for one particular reason, just to worship Him alone. That is the only reason for their creation. But look at in Surah to Jinn. They said what? Verse 72. وَأَنَّهُ كَانَ يَقُولُ سَفِيهُنَا عَلَى اللَّهِ شَطَطًا. The transgressors among us, the evil plotters of iniquities among us, the jinn, used to say lies. They told lies. They've been telling lies against Allah. وَأَنَّا ظَنَنَّا أَن لَّن تَقُولَ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا. And we feel it is an ultimate thing to do to avoid telling lies against Allah. We feel that is the best thing to do. It is a noble thing to do, not to tell lies against Allah. وَأَنَّهُ كَانَ رِجَالًا مِنَ الْإِنسِ يَعُوذُونَ Subhanallah. يَعُوذُونَ بِرِجَالٍ مِنَ الْجِنِّ. And what happened? This is a group of men. group of human beings. يَعُوذُونَ بِرِجَالٍ مِنَ الْجِنِّ. A group of men, people amongst men, seek protection, go about seeking protection from Rijal min al-Jinn, creatures like them. They don't even see, horrible creatures. That is where the shirk came up. They did that, and what? What did the jinn do? They said, Fazaduhum rahaqa. People are misguided already. A blind man went to seek help and went and seek the help from another blind person who is actually evil. What did they make them look? They made them see, they twisted their mind. The jinn twisted the mind of humans, and increased their folly. Human being is stupid already. So the jinns increased the stupidity. That is what rahq is. Rahq is folly. So they went seeking help, salvation. And instead of even telling them, oh boy, we don't see the salvation. We've not even seen the salvation. We are yet to guide ourselves. They added stupidity on top. The more you look, the less you see. Abracadabra. And that is what is actually still happening today. The kuffar and mushrikeen are thinking that they are getting the help they want from jinn. They don't know that they are actually killing themselves. So there is no wali wala nasir from anywhere, from jinn or other creatures, except Allah. Isti'an billah is the best, is the only way out. Not just the best, but it is the one and only way out. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ وَلِقَائِهِ. And as for those who disbelieve بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ, in the signs of Allah, the ayat of Allah, وَلِقَائِهِ, and his meeting on the day of judgment. أُولَٰئِكَ يَئِسُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ مِنْ رَحْمَتِي وَأُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Those who deny the meeting of Allah, the resurrection of the day of judgment, in a nutshell, to make it simple, those who deny the signs of Allah and the resurrection, the day of judgment, Ulaika ya'isu min rahmatillah. Ya'isu. Ya'isu. Ya'isa. This is not, it is nothing but what? Being in the state of regret. They will regret it and regret it to the last point. They will regret it to the core. Those who deny Allah's favor in this world and go about doing their own thing. They disbelieve in his ayat and believe on the day of judgment. Ulaika ya'isu min rahmati wa ulaika lahum adabun alim. They will regret, but not just there. It starts here in dunya. It starts here in dunya. They will regret it here in dunya and regret it in their qubur, in the qabr, and regret it in barzakh, and regret it on the sirat, and regret it on the world plains of qiyamah. So it is regret upon regret after regret and so on. There is no rahmah anywhere. But one thing that is very, very glaring in it, at the end of the ayah, it says, وَأُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. That is at the end of the road. After the regrets comes the adabun alim, grievous adab. Grievous adab awaits them at the end of the whole transition. وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ عَذَابِهِ. But these two groups who are into this whole thing fail to realize something. Failed to realize something. And what did they fail to realize? Let me draw our attention to something. In Surah Al-Araf, Allah said, when that punishment comes, when it is time for the punishment, and people go into Jahannam and so on, Allah said, كُلَّمَا دَخَلَتْ أُمَّةٌ لَعَنَتْ أُخْتَهَا. Any group that goes inside, they will curse the other group. You people have put us into this. Shaitan is there with his people. These people are abusing these people. This group are cursing out the other person. But in Surah to Ibrahim, Allah said, they are here. The people would blame their leaders, those who convinced them into it, those who convinced them into the shirk. Inna kunna lakum tab'a. We used to be followers to you. فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُغْنُونَ عَنَّا مِنْ عَذَابِ اللَّهِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. So right now, this is the fate. Is there any hope from you guys to at least reduce any part of this adab from us? فهل أنتم مغنون عنا من شيء فهل أنتم مغنون عنا من عذاب الله من شيء فهل أنتم مغنون منا فهل أنتم مغنون عنا من عذاب الله من شيء something أو كما قال ربنا من شيء قالوا. Would you people be of the help to us? Would you be of any help to the point of reducing any part as little, no matter how little of it, of the azab of Allah from us? So what would the response be? Even Shaitan himself will be at his heels. He would deny them. I only invited you and you responded. ما أنا بمصرخكم وما أنتم بمصرخي. I don't know you, you don't know me. You are on your own. Remember, it is clearly stated that كان من الجن. Shaitan كان من الجن. ففسق عن أمر ربي. It was among the jinn. It wasn't a malaika. It wasn't one of the malaika. So this is a battle between jinn and ins. They are the ones committing this atrocity against themselves. Ya Bani Adam. Yeah, Bunny. Sorry, and furthermore, he said, Ibn Kathir said, "Falahul khalq wal amr." He has the final say. He has the final say. Mahma fa'al fa'adu. Whatever he does is just. Who? Subhanahu azza wa jalla, Rabbuna azza wa jalla. لأنه المالك, because he is the Malik, the king. الذي لا يظلم مثقال ذرة. He does not, he does not in any way, in any form, in bigger size, in smaller size, he does not in anywhere, in any way bestow zulm on any of his creatures. وَمَا اللَّهُ بِظَلَّامٍ لِلْعَبِيدِ. So whatever his decisions are, they are perfect, just, and very, very free from zulm, oppression. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله, there is a hadith, Rasulullah عليه الصلاة والسلام said, إن الله لو عذب أهل السماوات وأهل الأرض وأهل أرضه لعذبهم وهو غير ظالم لهم. That if Allah is to punish the people of the heavens and the people of the earth, he would have done them and still be free from oppression. Let us just look at ourselves as human beings, for instance. No human being is perfect, and that imperfection calls for retribution. But Allah, in His infinite mercy, said, وَمَا كُنَّا نُعَذِّبُهُمْ وَهُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. And we wouldn't have been punishing them when they are doing what? Istighfar, when they observe their istighfar. So this is the hukum of Allah. يُعَذِّبُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَرْحَمُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. So this verse 22, وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُعْجِزِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ كُلُّ شَيْءٍ خَائِفٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ. Everything is afraid of Allah. So if you are afraid of Him, how would you be an obstacle to Him? هُوَ الْقَهَّارُ فَوْقَ عِبَادِهِ. He is the lawmaker. He is the first and the last. كُلُّ فَقِيرٌ إِلَيْهِ. Everything is weak and poor to Him. Everything needs His sustenance. وَهُوَ الْغَنِيُّ عَمَّا سِوَاهُ. And He is rich in everything. Everything is here in His vault. He has everything to sustain the whole universe. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ وَلِقَائِهِ. Like we mentioned, this is the kuffar. This is the kuffar. And the worst among them are the mushrikeen. So they will be in that state of regretting what they did in this world. But then it does not end there. La nasibun lahum min Allah. They have no portion, they have no right. Nothing is there for them from Allah. Fi dunya, in this world, not in hereafter. So it's just like they claimed it is mawtatahum ula and hayatuhum dunya yamutu wa yahya. They live and they die, and that is it. Man die go. that is what they get. But then it is not going to be an obstacle to the adab of Allah. We'll come back to the issue of Ibrahim alayhi salam. فَمَا كَانَ جَوَابَ قَوْمِهِ. Those qawm, there was the response of his people, that is the people of Ibrahim. إِلَّا أَنْ قَالُوا اقْتُلُوهُ 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 اقْتُلُوا خَلِيلُ اللَّهِ. We definitely know from Mufassirin, it wasn't the people of the town. This still went to the evil council of chiefs. The evil council of chiefs who came with persuasive arguments. Remember, we have it in Quran how Ibrahim alayhi salam tested them and then tempted them towards their gods and break down everything and hung the axe on the shoulder of the biggest among them. And when they asked, their explanation about Ibrahim, they said, in Qad Sami'na Fatan yuqalu lahu Ibrahim. We had one nasty boy who is called Ibrahim, mentioning them. Mentioning who? Their aliha. Mentioning their aliha, and they said, bring him forth. This is what it is. The council of chiefs. This is out of the tafsir, but it draws my mind. It just clicked into my mind now. Igbos actually have a derogatory statement about council of chiefs. Instead of calling them plotters of iniquity in the society, they make it a laughing matter, and they say, Igbos say in Igbo language, Aladimma urindinze. The atrocity that goes around in town is for the benefit of the kingmakers, the council of chiefs. They are the ones that enjoy it. When there is atrocity, evil going on, there are people who make their living out of it. There are people who make millions out of it. And most of the time, they are the plotters of that iniquity. So they are the kingmakers, they are the council of chiefs. So they now convince themselves that the only alternative, the only way out with Ibrahim, the only benefit, or I mean, the only thing they'll have to do to Ibrahim alayhi salam is anqalu uqtuluh, kill him. Kill him, aw harriquh, or burn him alive. Burn who alive? A person who said, wajjahtu wajhiya lillahi rabbil alameen. One who has handed over his whole being to Allah. Draw the battle line, come to battle. You've drawn the battle line, come out. فَأَنْجَاهُ اللَّهُ مِنَ النَّارِ. A long story. This is where we have come to Surah Al-Ankabut in respect of Ibrahim alayhi salam, Khalilullah. It's not just saying much. It's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. They kept collecting woods, stones, and they actually arranged Jahannam for Ibrahim alayhi salam. Let's quickly look at the end of that ayah. Allah said, Inna fi dhalika la ayat li qawmin yu'minun. It is just an ayah. It's a sign, not for everyone. Not for everyone. Li qawmin yu'minun, for just the small group of believers. Because if you are not, if you are a kafir or mushrik, there is aeroplane tunnel. You cannot digest it. You need iman to understand it. Uqtuluhu aw harriquhu. Kill him or burn him. Did he even look at them? He did not. He overlooked them and waited for the battle. Qala inni dhahibun ila rabbi sayahdin. Inni dhahibun ila rabbi sayahdin. We are saying harikuh or kutuluhu or harikuh. Like in Nigeria, one of our tribes out there, Yorubas will say, "Well, come in there. Draw the battle, come. If you have the heart, come. Let's go to battlefield." Inni dhahibun ila rabbi sayahdin. And in various narrations, Jibril came to Ibrahim alayhi salam and asked him if he needed help. Ibrahim alayhi salam told him, "No, I don't need your help. Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakil. I don't need your help. You are an ordinary creature like myself. I don't need your help. Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient for me." He supplicated and called upon Rabbul Izzah, Wahid al-Qahhar. And at the end of the day, what did Allah say? Ya nar kuni bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim. Fire. You are also a creature. This is your brother or your brother. Yes, because we are all creatures of Allah. We are of the same level. Kuni bardan wa salaman. Be peaceful and cold to Ibrahim alayhi salam. Khalilullah. So Ibrahim was there relaxing comfortably in the middle of the jahim built by human beings until the fire died out and they saw him come out. Igbos in Nigeria, Igbo tribes say, "Akakaka bajia ka ndị mmadụ enwe ihe akụkọ." When a stronger hand breaks a weaker one, people will have some story to tell. You can't go into battle against someone who Allah has already shielded. You don't do it. It is more like one committing suicide inside frying pan. Inni dhahibun ila rabbi sayahdin. Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. Told an angel, Jibril, "I don't need your help." So when we look at all these narrations, we see that all we need in us is iman and taqwa. Isti'an. Believe in Allah. Devote all our energy and everything we have to Him alone. And put our trust, every bit of it, in Allah. And follow the footsteps of Ibrahim alayhi salam. We will never reach at the peak, we will never get to it, but at least it is juhud. Do of it as much as we can. وقال إنما اتخذتم من دون الله أوثانا مودة. Mawadda is an agreement, a kind of something, an agreement that is done with love. A jovial agreement. بينكم في الحياة الدنيا, in this world. This whole thing you have associated with Allah is, or you have chosen to worship, is just from yourselves. You chose it, you made it up. It is human beings that created Ogun by themselves, Amadio, or whatever they call it, everything that it is stone. Human beings sat down and carved it, made the face look ugly, some with popping eyes, some with big ears, some with small eyes, some with big lips. They created all these things. They don't move. ثم يوم القيامة يكفر بعضكم ببعض. الله. ثم يوم القيامة يكفر بعضكم ببعض. Now, on the day of resurrection, on the day of resurrection, on the day of resurrection, this issue that came up in the whole universe or in the world, where people have to sit down and create aliha, awthan, idols, and make it aliha for themselves, will come the retribution. Allah, what comes in there, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ عِبَادًا أَمْثَالُكُمْ, in Surah Al-Araf, verse 194. قال إنما اتخذتم من دون الله أوثانا مودة بينكم في الحياة الدنيا. In the Surah Al-Araf, إن الذين تدعون, that is the awsan. Verily, those people who you call upon, that is the awsan, the idols. إن الذين تدعون من دون الله عبادا أمثالكم. They are actually ibad, servants of Allah. Allah created them. You got them from mountains, you got them from trees, you got them from animals. Allah created them. فَدُعُوهُمْ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لَكُمْ. Then call on them, let's see. Call upon them. فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لَكُمْ. Let them answer your supplications. Has anyone ever come out and say, yes, you go out and make sacrifice to an Ogun or to Amadio or anything, drop that animal there and come back and see that they have eaten it and leave the plate? If you give a plate of food to a little child, the child would eat it and leave the plate or tell you that it is not enough. This is not what I want to eat. But the sacrifice is made and kept. Still, animals like that Allah created, vultures or other animals, insects, would come out and eat those things. They will say, yes, the spirits have come to collect it, that they have eaten it the way it is supposed to be done. So you gave our son and tuyur and birds eat, and you claim that it is what it is supposed to be. No, they are too, that is the if. That is the if. That is the if, and nothing more. So definitely, they are there blindfolding themselves, making themselves be in a state of regret, because this is more of the more you look, the less you see. Why telling yourself lies? Why telling yourself lies? You go and bring crops. Allah created the crops, animals, birds, and you make sacrifice to something that Subhanallah. Allah asked, Allahum a'yunun yubsiruna biha. Am lahum aydin yabtushuna biha. Do they have hands that they can touch? Do they have eyes that they can see with? Do they have hearts that they can reason with? Or do they have legs with which they will walk? These things they just fool themselves, and they, instead of reasoning the way they are supposed to reason, they know that those awsan, those idols cannot actually move from one place to the other. They have to move them. They need to move them before they can actually get to where they are supposed to get. ثم يوم القيامة يكفر بينكم بعضكم ببعض ويلعن بعضكم بعضا. Um, in Surah Al-A'raf, it is actually said that in verse فمن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا أو كذب بآياته أولئك ينالهم نصيبهم من الكتاب حتى إذا جاءتهم رسلنا يتوفونهم قالوا أين ما كنتم تدعون من دون الله قالوا ضلوا عنا وشهدوا على أنفسهم أنهم كانوا كافرين. What a miserable life, regretful life. فَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَى عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا, and who is worse than one who invoked or initiated lies against Allah, أو كذب بآياته, or told lies, denied his ayat of Allah. أُولَٰئِكَ يَنَالُهُمْ نَصِيبُهُمْ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ, they are the ones whose their own portion of their pay will come to directly from the book. حتى إذا جاءتهم رسلنا يتوفونهم, when the angels of death came to them to take their souls, قالوا أينما كنتم تدعون من دون الله, where are those you used to call in association to Allah? قالوا ضلوا عنا, and they will definitely say it, they have misled us. ضلوا عنا وشهدوا على أنفسهم أنهم كانوا كافرين, and they would definitely bear witness against them and say that they were disbelievers. So where are we going now? قال دخلوا في قد خلت من قبلكم من الجن والإنس في النار, go join them there, those who came before you, the people of Nuh, Ad and Samud that were there before you, and so on. If it is this time, those of people of the Ummah of Isa alayhi salam and Dawood alayhi salam, and so on. Finnar, kullama dakhalat ummatun la'anat ukhtaha. Any Ummah that goes in there will cause the one that may it not be good for you. May it not be good for you. And they will reply, they will be there cursing against themselves. Now you put us in this condition. You are the one that got us into this mess. No, not be us. You are on your own. Everybody is here suffering.
Now, Mustaz, I think we should stop at Surah at verse 25th. The 25th verse, because it's almost time. We have 6 more minutes.
Okay, inshallah.
Yeah.
So here practically this verse 25th is actually the area where Ibrahim alayhi salam had his own issues with his people. We had intended to kind of give other narrations whereby bringing other verses in. I wanted us to deal with Al-Ankabut specifically before bringing other ayats like that of Surah Al-Baqarah, where things were said mainly about Ibrahim alayhi salam and the issue of Namrud and his journey when he did his hijrah out of Babylon. These were that is Ibrahim alayhi salam, but the message in Surah Al-Ankabut is the message of Iman, Da'wah, Tawakkul, and Taqwa. Those are the main points we have in this surah, generally in Surah Al-Ankabut. But Ibrahim alayhi salam is significant in the whole narration because his life was Iman. from when he said, وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّهِ فَاطِرِ السَّمَاوَاتِ فَوَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. That is Iman. وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. He denied shirk, Iman, Ikhlas. Then Isti'an. He told Jibril alayhi salam, I don't need your help. Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakil. That is Isti'an. Tawakkul. He did everything he did knowing that Allah is there for him. He never lost hope a minute. So everything about Ibrahim alayhi salam was about Tawheed, Iman, Taqwa, Tawakkul, and Isti'an bi Rabbil Izzah. May Allah accept our ibadah, and may He grant us His mercy in these last days of Ramadan.
Amen.
And may our tafsir and that of those who came before us, today is the 28th tafsir. So we have had 27 tafsir before today, and we will have at least another one or two bi-iznillah. I pray that Allah Azza wa Jalla in His infinite mercy grant our asatiza who spend time doing their research, putting their effort and their knowledge in benefiting the ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. May Allah benefit them and their families in this world and in hereafter.
Amen.
And benefit all of us, the Ummah of Muhammad, those who had the opportunity to listen to them and benefit from them, and those who were not opportune due to one issue or the other. May Allah bless us and reward us and grant us His mercy and rahmah in this world and in hereafter.
Amen.
And I beseech them to respond whenever they are called upon. I mean, the asatiza, they should not be tired.
No.
For Allah's mercy goes to people who give most. And Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam advised us to pass knowledge. They are doing it, we are into it. May Allah reward us and grant us the effort to give more into the ummah. Bless us in this world and akhirah. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. وأقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم أجمعين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Jazakumullah khairan. We thank our guest lecturer today, Ustaz Abdul Latif Okuruha. Is a lecturer on today's segment, and that is the lessons from Surah Al-Ankabut, Al-Ankabut, Quran chapter 29, and we read from verse 16 to verse 25. We couldn't get to 30, but the bulk of it is what he summarized at the end. So if you look at the whole story, it boils down to giving dawah, and before that it's tawheed. The very verse 16 actually focus on tawheed, Islam monetizing and believing in one God without any partners and all that. So, and the other one is iman, having faith, even in times of tribulations and all that. So we should stand firm, which is tawakkul. We should rely on Allah, that Allah is the only one that can actually get us out of our situation in any adversity we'll find ourselves. And another thing is the issue of taqwa. So, if you have the iman, taqwa will actually follow. So you strongly have the fear of Allah, even in when people see you and when they don't see you, Allah is always with you. And the dawah again. So I'm going to take my question from dawah. We're actually on top of the hour, but if Ustaz permit me, can we add maybe 10 minutes to take Q&A?
Yeah, inshallah.
MashaAllah. All right, so for our listeners out there, we know we're already on top of the hour. It's 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I know you guys are preparing to, to break. So any moment from now, people in the East Coast will be breaking their 28th fast, inshallah. So if you have questions or contributions or comments, feel free to bring them at 817-717-5685. Our studio line is open, and the number again is 817-717-5685. And we also, if you don't want to call in, because I know most people don't like, maybe because they are shy or something, they don't like calling into the program, feel free to test your question to I'm looking at a WhatsApp group, so we have none for now. But I will just go ahead with the questions that I have while listening to the lecture by Ustaz Abdul Latif Okora. And the very first question I have is unfortunately, I didn't take note of the exact verse, but the Dawa aspect when he was talking to his people. When I mean talking, I meant Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu
Ibrahim
wasalam.
alayhi salam.
So he was telling them that why are you worshiping these idols? These are creations of Allah. We shouldn't be worshiping it. But in Dawah, it kind of look confrontational, you know. So he kind of confront them like condemning what they're doing. So the question there is, should we take that kind of approach when it comes to Dawah? Like destroying our enemy. When they were not there, he went there to destroy their gods and all that. So we be taking, at what point should we get to that level whereby we have to like make it confrontational, if you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think I understand what you're talking about, your question. Um, it is not a straight answer.
Yeah.
It's not one size fits all.
Oh.
This is what a lot of people have today, presently, in their da'wah, be it the Muslims or non-Muslims. But more of it is like you see every group are kind of blaming the other. Anywhere you go, you see evangelists, Christians. In the bus, you see them in Nigeria, especially preaching. On the street, you see them with bells. And then sometimes you see that the Muslims themselves, they want it like one straight path. This actually comes from both sides, has ignorance in it. Why do I say so? This is my personal opinion, and I'm taking it from a verse in the Quran.
Yeah.
Allah said, "Ud'u ila sabili
Sabila.
rabbika bil hikmati
Hikmat.
wa maw'izati al hasana
Yeah.
wajadiluhum billati hiya ahsan." Call unto the path of your Lord bil hikmah,
Hikmah,
with
wisdom.
wisdom. وَمَوْعِزَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. What is مَوْعِزَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ? Things like good approach with goodness, be kind, be enduring. Da'wah does not come without perseverance. Let us look at people like Ulul Azm min ar-Rusul. Isa alayhi salam, for instance, when Allah asked him about his dealings with his people, that ayah draws tears to any eye that understands it. He said, I had no power to tell them any other thing except what you asked me to tell them. Ani ibudullah ma lakum min ilahin ghayru. This I did while I was there, and you are a witness to it. وَلَمَّا تَوَفَّيْتَنِي كُنْتَ أَنْتَ رَقِيبٌ عَلَيْهِمْ. In Surah Al-Ma'idah.
Maida. Yeah.
So when I was there, this was my message, and you know about it. But when you took me away, you were the one, like you were the watchdog over them. I did not know about what happened in my back, at my back. But he did not cause them. He did not cause his ummah.
Yeah.
Instead of him to say, okay, just punish them.
Yeah.
What is my business? He said, in tu'adzibahum fa'innahu ibaduk. If you would punish them, they are your
Naam.
Yeah, my friend. If you are to punish them, they are your servants.
Naam.
If you are to punish them, they are your servants.
Naam.
But if you would forgive them, you are Ghafur Rahim. You are the most beneficent, the most gracious, most forgiven.
Naam.
The people of Quraysh, upon all they did to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi
Awesome.
wasallam, Fatah Makkah, the conquering of Makkah came in came on a platter of gold. And when he asked them, he actually gave them positions. Look at Abu Sufyan. Of all people, he said, Man dakhala bayta Abu Sufyan fa innahu aminu. Anyone who goes into who seeks refuge in the house of Abu Sufyan is safe. At the end of the day, he said, Idhabu wa antum tulaqa. Go home. You are forgiven. This is da'wah. Yusuf alayhi salam, his brothers did everything to eliminate him. At the end of the day, they came and found themselves in his hands. There are no places for them to run to. But what did he say to them? He said, La tathriba lakum al-yawm. No grievances will befall you people today. People who told their own father lies, punished him, threw him into Ghayabat al-Jub. He went as a young boy, suffered all through his life until Allah bestowed his mercy on him. He looked them into the face, into the eyes, and said, La tathriba lakum al-yawm. There are no grievances for you today. You are forgiven.
Subhanallah.
So when we look into these Rusul and Anbiya's ways of life, that is the type of da'wah. But referring to that of Ibrahim alayhi salam, it was situation. It was a child of circumstance. Ibrahim alayhi salam meant good to them. Look at the verses in Surah Al-Ankabut, how he approached them. He spoke to them. Even his own father told, Wahjuruni Maliya. Get away from me. Get lost. Get away from me, Ibrahim. His own biological father. And you cannot be seeing this evil man ra'a minkum munkaran, like Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said. فَلْيُغَيِّرُهُ بِيَدِهِ فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِهِ وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. Try to correct it with your hands. If not, then use your heart. Cancel it in your heart, within your. وَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ, with your tongue first. Use your hand, use your tongue, and then use your heart. وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. That is the weakest. Ibrahim alayhi salam, as noble as he is, wouldn't have done such a thing if not that his people were evil in nature. He wanted to show it to them practically. Ibrahim alayhi salam did not spill blood. He did not destroy anything, belongings. No. He did not curse any one of them. He did not disrespect not even those kingmakers, the elders. He did not disrespect any one of them. None of them would claim being disrespected by Khalilullah. He went straight to the point. The problem is this ifk, and the ifk is the idols you people worship. Let me show you that these things have no brain. They don't have eyes.
They can't
don't
protect
have
themselves.
ears. So let me destroy them and make you know, make you to understand that they are weak. That way, you will be the ones choosing for you what you want for yourselves. They did not get the message. They are the ones that tried to destroy Ibrahim alayhi salam. So da'wah is done with hikmah, wisdom, millions, and perseverance.
Alhamdulillah, I mean, the 10 minutes is fast spent. We thank our stars for this beautiful lecture. Well, at this moment, so we wouldn't be able to take any more questions. So we just ask our stars to briefly, in about 10 seconds, give us a closing dua so that we can bring the show to to a close.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I thank everyone that listened to us today. And there is no much dua other than the dua Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam
Sallallahu
advised
alaihi
us to
wasallam.
use within these last days of Ramadan.
Naam.
اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا.
Ameen.
اللهم إنك عفو تحب
Table
العفو
afwa
فاعف عنا.
fafana.
اللهم إنك عفو كريم تحب العفو فاعف عنا.
Ameen.
ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين.
Ameen.
ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. يا
Ameen.
حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث. أصلح لنا شأننا كله ولا تقلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين. لا إله إلا أنت. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين
Bismillah.
والحمد لله
Alhamdulillah
رب
Rabbil Alamin.
العالمين. صلى
Amen.
الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى
Sallallahu
آله
alaihi wasallam. Jazakumullah khairan. We thank our stars.
وإياكم.
May Allah reward you for your time, and may He continue to increase you in knowledge, increase you in
آمين.
wisdom, and bless your entire household. Jazakumullah khairan. We thank you very much, and we hope to see you, inshallah, next year again on this platform.
إن شاء الله بإذن
Now,
الله.
assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Now we've come to the end of the segment today. We thank all our listeners out there, all our supporters. We thank you for staying with us and staying behind us. We appreciate you. We pray that Allah reward each and every one of us, accept our deeds, all our good deeds, and accept it as an act of ibadah. Inshallah, tomorrow, we don't know, maybe one or two. So Allah knows best. So if tomorrow happens to be our last lecture, so like I said last week, I mean